Hi, everyone, and a very, very good evening to all of you. Well, it's evening over here now. And I am Shalmili. I am the founder of Empathy for You and You Lead. These are the two different organizations that I'm working with. Empathy for You is an organization that I started 2 years back, and I'm working the founder. I'm working as a founder at it. And Empathy for You is basically an organization that works in spreading awareness about mental health and suicide prevention. Whereas ULEAD is an organization which is trying to bridge the gap between mentors and wannabe entrepreneurs. Because when we talk about entrepreneurship, mentorship comes on picture. You always need someone to go for guidance, go for support, and that is the work that is ULEAD is trying to do. It's trying to bridge the gap between mentors and wannabe entrepreneurs. So today we are going to talk about pinpoint balance, and I've shared the PPT over here. Yeah. So pinpoint balance, why the topic pinpoint balance? So basically, pinpoint balance is nothing but balancing between balancing your inner self and balancing your outer self. For example, now I am taking this webinar. I need to balance my screen in order to be properly visible, in order to maintain the eye contact. If I am riding a bicycle, it's very important to have the balance in order to not to fall on the ground. So we need balance everywhere when it comes to working, when it comes to balancing your personal life. Balance comes everywhere. That needs to be a balance between your professional, your personal life. So basically, balance is everywhere. And that is what we're going to talk about today. Everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to be a great leader. But how to be that? How do you define a great leader to be? A great leader is the one who is balanced from inside in order to be balanced from outside. So your inner balance depends, or your outer balance, it depends upon how your inner balance is. And that is what we're going to talk today. We are going to talk about introspection. We are going to talk about getting out of your comfort zone. We're going to talk about popping that personal bubble. We're going to talk about a lot of things. So here's a small agenda of what we're going to cover today. So as I said, we're going to talk about introspection. Then there's going to be a small activity. Then we're going to talk about getting out of comfort zone. Everyone tells us like get out of your comfort zone. History starts when you step out of your comfort zone. But how to do that? How do you push yourselves out of your comfort zone? Next, we want to talk about positive affirmations. It's very, very important to stay positive, to have that positive mindset when you're doing anything, however big or small thing. It's very important to keep yourselves positive. And then we are going to see about balancing the inner world. I'm going to tell you some practical strategies in order to uh, have that balance when it comes to working on your inner self. So this is a small agenda of what we are going to cover in the webinar. Yes. So before going ahead and before actually starting with the main points in the webinar, I want to ask a question to all of you. How are you feeling these days? This question you are going to ask to yourself. So just sit quiet for 2 minutes and ask this question to yourselves. How are you feeling these days? Now, these days I specifically mean since the pandemic has started, because there has been a lot of change in everything we do. Our schools, our colleges, our daily routines, there has been a 360-degree shift change between what our life is earlier and what it is now. So just sit back and ask this question to yourself. How are you feeling these days? Okay. When I asked this question to myself, I got an answer that somewhere I'm feeling happy, somewhere I'm feeling a little chaotic. I'm not understanding how do I need to go ahead. Somewhere I'm also feeling blank because there's everything new now and we really need to get used to new normal. So this is what, I felt when I asked this question to myself. And as we move forward, I'm going to tell you the importance of why we need to ask this question to ourselves. So let's get into it directly. Yes. So the first point I'm going to talk about is introspection. Now, introspection is nothing but, understanding what's there inside or understanding what you want truly from inside. And this is nothing but your introspection. So in introspection, as I've written here, focus on your inner voice because that's the only one that matters. A lot of people might tell you, okay, do this now once you've got a degree. take new course, do this course, take this job, do this, do that. But stop, sit back, and just ask yourselves what you truly want from your life, what you truly want to do. Who are you truly? Who are you? What are your strengths? What are your qualities? Have you done that? It's very rare that we actually get time to sit with ourselves and be with ourselves and spend time with ourselves and understand ourselves. We are living in a technological era. We're living in a digital world. We are always on our smartphones, on our mobile phones, but we hardly find time for ourselves. I would love to ask this question to all of you. When was the last time you actually sat with yourself, or when you actually sat with your grandparents and had an heart-to-heart conversation with them? It's very rare. We rarely find time for ourselves. What about, thinking about our grandparents and our parents? So this is very important. Sitting back and reflecting and introspecting about what you truly want is very, very important. And I'm actually going to suggest you one activity. We are going to do that activity in order to understand how you can truly introspect or how you can assess yourself. Okay. Yes. So it's activity time. And I just want everyone to take a pen and paper, and we can do this activity together. Okay. So I've taken a book over here, and there are 3 simple steps in this activity. This activity is basically called as self-assessment, or you can also call it as introspection. You are going to assess yourself in each and every field or in each and every area of your life. And these areas are very important. It's not about taking science. It's not about taking, commerce. It's about, how your life is and what are the important areas of your life. Okay. So first step is to draw a big circle. If you can see here, I've drawn a big circle. So first step is to draw a big circle. The next step is to divide that circle into 8 equal parts. First step is to draw a big circle. Second step is to divide that circle into 8 equal parts. Now again, it's all right if the circle doesn't look like a circle. It's all right if the 8 divisions are not equal. It's all right. You're doing this activity for yourself. Okay, so now that you've divided the circle into 8 equal parts, now the next step is to label each part. So I'm going to tell you the labels now, and you can write down those labels in each part. So first label is family. The name of first division is family. Second division is friends. Third division is romantic relationships. Fourth is education or career. Fifth is mental health. Sixth is physical health. Seventh is personal growth. And eighth is talent and fun. I repeat all the 8 divisions once again. First, family. Second, friends. Third, romantic relationships. Fourth, education or career. Fifth, mental health. Sixth, physical health. Seventh, personal growth. And eighth, talent and fun. Yes. So now that you've written this, this is a chart that is required for self-assessment activity. So now that you've prepared this chart, it's time to sit back, introspect, and then you're going to rate yourself. So I request you all to sit back and kind of do meditation, or you can also do this activity after once the webinar ends. So the next step is to sit back and close your eyes and truly introspect on all of these areas. So for example, when I'm talking about family, so when it comes to family, it's about spending time with them. It's about helping them or whatever it might be. So you just have to think like when you did this, or if you're carrying out this activity in daily, you can carry out this activity during the weekend, once a week, even that's fine. So these are the 2 times where you can carry out the activity. You can do it daily before going to sleep. You can do this activity. or you can carry out it during the weekend, that is once in a week, so that you are rating yourselves, or you are assessing yourselves daily, or you are assessing yourselves once in a week. Now, if I'm assessing it daily, the first thing I'm going to think about is family. The first division is family. So I'm going to think about how I was with my family. It might be about spending time together. It might be about helping my family. So it might be about anything. So when I close my eyes, the first thing about I'm going to think about is family, how I was with my family. And now when I think about that, so in this way, you have to think about all the 8 divisions. For example, if it's about education or career, so how did I do any work? Uh, did I study? Did I learn new things? Did I completed that particular chapter that I've been longing for doing? So I'm going to think of all those areas when it comes to education or career. In this way, you have to think about each particular division when you close your eyes. And after that, you are going to rate yourselves about how you introspected when you closed your eyes. Now, when it comes to rating, you're going to rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being the minimal value, whereas 10 being the maximum value. So if you are not at all good, it might be in the range of 1 to 5. It might be 3, 4, anything. If you were good, it might be 8, 9, 10, anything. So it depends upon you. The range of the values, it depends upon you. So this is one of the activities that really helps you when it comes to introspecting. And I definitely say that you can carry out this activity daily. That will really help you. That will really help you introspect and rate yourselves. Because this activity will help you understand on the basis of your score. This activity will help you understand where you particularly stand in each area. And these are very important areas of your life. Friends are important, family is important, your education is important, mental health is important, physical health is important. So all these 8 divisions are really very important when it comes to balance in your life. And that is why introspection plays a very different role, very different and very important role. All right, so that was about introspection. Let's move towards the next point now. Yes, getting out of comfort zone. Now, when we talk about comfort zone, we have been taught about this, since the schools itself. Like you should get out of your comfort zone, you should create a history. History starts when you step out of your comfort zone. All right, but how am I supposed to get out of my comfort zone? How am I supposed to push myself out of my comfort zone? If you read my screen, you'll read something. By living a comfort zones behind and taking a leap of faith into something new, you find out who you are truly capable of becoming. And this is very true. Now, I am saying this is very true. Why am I saying that? Okay. So I'm going to tell you a short story now, a story about myself, a story about my experience that I experienced in the last year. Okay, so get ready now to listen to my story. I've always been that person who is, always interested in attending seminars, attending workshops, attending different fellowships, internships, going abroad for conferences. So I've always been that kind of person. And I have this habit of applying to conferences every day. I might apply for some days. I might apply for 50 of conferences. For some days it might be 100. So every day I apply for conferences that are happening abroad. And I might have applied for one of the fellowships just by it might be one of those hundreds. And one afternoon I was just sitting on my mobile phone, and I suddenly got a notification, and that was saying, congratulations, you have got selected for the fellowship. And I was like, oh, is this really for me? I was not understanding, but I had this guts to click on that mail, to click on that notification, and I opened the mail. When I opened the mail, it said that, congratulations, you have got selected for fellowship by Aarhus University, Denmark. Now, when I read that mail, this was my first reaction. I was very happy. My happiness knew no bounds. I was on cloud nine. I was very happy. I've always wanted to go out. I've always wanted to explore. I've always wanted to meet new people and learn new things and explore new cultures. So my happiness knew no bounds, and this was my first reaction. And after this, my second reaction was this. I was in sheer disbelief. I was thinking, like, okay, is this mail really for me? I was doubting myself. Have they written the name correct? I just went up and saw my name, whether it was written for me, whether the mail was really for me. So I was in sheer disbelief. I was still not believing that, okay, this mail is for me. Yes. So this was a short story, but I somehow managed. I got a lot of questions after seeing that mail. Like, is this really for me? I'm just a girl who comes from a small city. Am I really supposed to go out and, go to Denmark and be there alone and live there alone for 2 months? I don't have any people that I know with me. But I somehow managed. I decided to reply yes to that mail, and I would say that was my best decision of my life, because if I hadn't taken that opportunity, if I hadn't grabbed that opportunity, you might not have seen me what I am today. That is nothing but pushing yourselves out of your comfort zone. And it's true that they say that history doesn't happen in your comfort zone. When you step out of your comfort zone, you are just the new you, and that is very important. So here's something for you. Please read the screen. Living in our comfort zones, we never get the opportunity to learn or question ourselves. That's very, very true. Because when we are in our comfort zones, we are just used to all the things happening around us. The same people that we are comfortable with, the same things that are happening every day that we are comfortable with. And we don't really get. And when we're comfortable in the personal space, in that space, or in that zone, we don't get that opportunity to question ourselves or to learn something new. And that is why it's very important to push yourselves out of your comfort zone. Yes. Now, when we talk about pushing yourselves out of the comfort zone, when you push yourselves out of your comfort zone, this is a term that comes in picture. And the term is nothing but optimal anxiety. Now, if you see this big circle, that is nothing but your comfort zone. And if you see this red dot over here, that is nothing but your optimal anxiety. That is nothing but the optimal anxiety that comes in picture when you leave your comfort zone. And it's but obvious. That is what I was saying, that when you are in comfort zone, everything is comfortable for you. The people, the places, the things that you see every day, everything is comfortable for you. But when you leave your comfort zone, when you step out of your comfort zone, nothing is going to be the same. There are going to be a lot of obstacles. There are going to be a lot of hurdles in your path. So there's nothing going to be the same when you step out of your comfort zone. And it's but obvious to become anxious when there's nothing seen, when there's nothing comfortable for you. But it's also very important to remember that it's not going to last for a long. You can definitely get over those hurdles. You can definitely win over all the situations that come in your way. But it's very important to remember that it's not going to last for a long. So here what I've written is there are endless possibilities. You just have to be bold enough to try. And that's very true. There are endless possibilities, there are endless opportunities out there in the world. You just have to come out and see those opportunities. And I'm pretty sure when you're trying to grab one, you're going to lose another one. But don't pull yourselves down. Don't be low. Don't be upset, because it's all right if you lose that opportunity. Just make everything out of the opportunity that is there in your hand, and that is very important. When you're going to grab an opportunity, the other one is going to be lost. But make sure that you do something big, something extravagant out of the opportunity that is there in your hand. And again, as I said, it doesn't take anything big to do that. It's just the little things in your life, and you have to uh, you know realize those things, or you have to recognize the small things where you can do something in order to make it big. And here's something. It might be taking a new route to work. It might be complimenting a stranger, which we rarely do these days. Going with the flow. It might be having a discussion with someone. It might be finishing reading a book or writing a book. It might be trying a new recipe. And above all, just be brave to make your choices. Take risk. Be brave. Be young. That is how a young student or a young leader is. Yes. So here's what I was telling you from the slide I started telling you about your comfort zones. It doesn't require anything big to make a difference. They are just the small things in our everyday lives that really push ourselves out of our comfort zone. And it's very important to understand this. All right. So next that we are going to talk about is positive affirmations. Now, why am I talking about positive affirmations? The time that I said that it's very important to be positive in order to be a great leader, in order to bring that positive difference, in order to become successful, in order to hustle, in order to grind. It's very important to have that positive attitude within yourselves. And you get that positive attitude when you align yourself with positive affirmations. Now, I usually explain this concept by breaking in small terms about positive affirmations. So, when I talk about positive affirmations, there are two voices involved, your big voice and your short voice. Yes. So, when we talk about positive affirmations, there are two voices involved, your big voice and your short voice. So, what is big voice and what is short voice? I'll give you an example. I'll explain you this with an example. So, when I talk about pastry, I love to eat pastry. I haven't eaten pastry since last few days. I love chocolate pastry. So when I talk about pastry, when I'm talking, that is nothing but my loud voice. And when I talk about pastry, there's visual, there are pictures created about pastry in my mind. And that is nothing but your short voice. And you always have to remember this, that your short voice is catching the signal of your loud voice. And that is why what you need, what you talk, that needs to be really positive. Because your short voice is always catching the signal of your loud voice. So what you talk, that really needs to be positive. And that is nothing but positive affirmations. Try to align yourselves with positive affirmations. For example, for me, my positive affirmation is I inhale what I am, I exhale what I am not. That is nothing but when I'm inhaling, I inhale all the positivity and and my strengths inside. And when I exhale, I just throw out all the negativity and weaknesses from inside. So that is a positive affirmation I align with. And you can make your own positive affirmations. That can be anything that inspires you, that motivates you, that brings the best out of you. So that is nothing but your positive affirmation. Now, moving ahead and moving towards the last point, we want to talk about balancing the inner world. Just like I said, that your outer success, it depends upon your inner success. So let's see what balancing the inner world is and what are some of the strategies that will help you to balance your inner world. Again, when I say balancing the inner world, I don't mean to say that, bring this cream or bring that moisturizer and put it on your face, or go take a bubble bath or do manicure, do pedicure. I don't mean to say this. Balancing your inner world totally comes from inside. Your inner healing is your main thing when it comes to balancing the outer world. So I've written down some of the practical things that you need to do every day in order to balance your inner world. The first thing is physical activity. Now, when I talk about physical activity, I don't mean to say that you have to exercise rigorously for 40, 45 minutes till you sweat. But physical activity is nothing but doing physical activity for at least 15 to 20 minutes of the day is also very important, and that's essential. So you can, keep a variation, might be yoga for one day, cardio, physio. It totally depends upon you about how you want to go ahead. But 15 to 20 minutes of physical activity every day is very, very important. The second thing is mindful breathing. Now, when I talk about breathing, I usually talk about breathing techniques, and I would definitely love to suggest box breathing technique over here. So box breathing is very, simple technique. It's simple for beginners. If you just Google it, you'll find it on Google, also on internet also. You can practice box breathing every day, and even 10 to 12 cycles of box breathing is also very, fine for the day. I mean, that's enough for the day. When we talk about box breathing, one cycle is usually divided into four parts. The first part is inhale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale. And 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. That is nothing but your box breathing. And when you are sitting for box breathing technique, you're not supposed to move your body, but you are supposed to move your eyes. Move your eyes in a box direction. That is important. Third thing we are going to talk about is meditation. Now, when I talk about meditation, I'm again talking about uh, just being there with yourself. I am also talking about breathing. I'm also talking about inhaling and exhaling. Yes. So when I'm talking about meditation, I'm talking about inhaling, exhaling. I'm talking about just being there with yourself. That's very important. Again, meditation of 5 to 8 minutes for the day is very important, because at that time you're being there within yourself. It's very important from time to time to just speak inside your mind and understand what's going on inside. And that is we do when we are meditating. So meditation for a day is very important. The fourth thing, sit back and reflect. You can also call this as introspection, the first thing that we talked about in this webinar. So sitting back and reflecting is very important. Try to maintain your journal while sitting back and reflecting. Just sit back and ask some questions to yourself. How were you throughout the day? What you did throughout the day? What are the thoughts that came to your mind throughout the day? Ask these questions to yourself and find answers to them. And just try to understand how many of them were positive, how many of them you reacted to the situations were positive. Try to find answers to this. The next is journaling. Now, journaling is very important when it comes to relieving the stress and burden from your mind, because journaling is that one activity that helps you to kind of relieve stress, kind of relieve the burden, the anxiety because of the work and the studies that we get throughout the day. It's very important to again, relieve those muscles, and that is why journaling is important. Write down everything that you did throughout the day. Write down those in points. There are a lot of journaling prompts that are available out there, so you can follow that journaling prompts also. uh, Doing things that you love. I absolutely say this point because when you're doing things that you love, you are very happy from within. And those things might be however big or however small. It could be just having a conversation with your friend, or might be on video call, might be on call. It might be watering your plants. It might be enjoying a cup of coffee with your loved ones. It might be anything, but do things that you love, because at that times you're truly happy. Rejuvenation, again very important, because after the whole day of work and studies and stress, it's very important to rejuvenate. It's very important to rest, because when you rest, then you can get back to work with equal energy than it was earlier. And that is why rejuvenation is very important. If you ask me, if we talk about rejuvenation, it's like in we youngsters and teenagers, if we talk about rejuvenation, it's always like finding a lavish resort in the hills and mountains and going there and, waking and living there and spending our time and money. But if you ask me what rejuvenation can also be or also look like, it's nothing but grabbing a cup of coffee, going to your roof, sitting on the chair, and watching sunset. That is also another form of rejuvenation. And that truly is a rejuvenation. Just watch on the just watch the sky, just watch the sunset, just watch the changing colors. That really teaches you a lot. And I feel that Mother Nature comes with the scenery every different day, every other day, and it's totally for free. So why not just go and enjoy that beauty? That's also another form of rejuvenation. Try doing this, it's really helpful. The next thing I'm going to talk about is self-care. Now, when I talk about self-care, it's not about taking bubble bath or treating yourself to junk food, going for shopping. I don't mean that to be self-care. For me, self-care is something, uh, any action where you are trying to improvise your health, where you're trying to preserve your health. And that is nothing but self-care. So for me, self-care is journaling. For me, self-care is reading. For me, self-care is sitting back and reflecting. For you, it could be anything. For you, it could be just watching the view outside the window. For you, it could be a cup of coffee with yourself. For you, it could be self-talk with yourself. It could be anything, but find out your own ways of self-care and make sure that you practice self-care every day. Take out that 10 minutes of that day. I'm pretty sure everyone can take out 10 minutes from 24 hours every day in order to practice self-care. Because when you're practicing self-care, you're looking after yourselves. Make sure you do that every day. The next is loving yourself. Very important. We always try to find our happiness. We always try to find a love uh, for the people outside over there. But we rarely find love, we rarely find time, we rarely find happiness within ourselves. And that is very important, to find love within yourselves. Be your own hero. Make yourself your biggest fan, because you are the one who matter. You are there for yourselves always. Be there for yourselves. Love yourselves. Say no to non-essential things. Set some personal boundaries for yourself. Just be there for yourselves because you matter the most. All right. So yes. So that's all from my side. And so I've written anything. I've written a quote over here: balance your inner world in order to balance your outer world. This is very important. Before leaving, I just want to give one message for all the people, all my viewers out there. Um, don't have long term or don't have short term goals, but make sure you have one goal of just being excellent, giving your 100% and being your best at whatever you do throughout the day. So it might be studying, it might be working, or it might be just spending time with your family. But you have to be excellent at what you do throughout the day and have that goal. Don't work in order to be successful. Work in order to leave your legacy behind. Even if you die, people out there must say that, okay, she was Shalmali, she has left her own legacy behind. And that is very important. That is how a true leader is. That is how leadership is all about. And I've also written my contact information over here. So you can stalk me on Instagram. My personal account is Shalmili. My organization's account is Empathy for You, number 4, and You Lead India. Or you can also talk to me if you want to have a chat with me. You can drop me a DM, or you can drop me an email on hello.empathyforyou@gmail.com. I can see you. I can see you anywhere. I am always there on Instagram, always there on email. I'm always there on WhatsApp. So if you want to have a chat with me, if you want to have any conversation with me, just drop a DM or drop an email. Thank you so much for watching this. Bye bye. I'll meet you again soon.